Hi, Martin here. Today I want to show you how to replace your transmission mount on your 99 through 04 Jeep Grand Cherokee. This will apply to if it's a two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, or if it's got the 4.7 liter or the 4.0. All right, and we're going to take I got the transmission mount right here. Looks like that. And we're going to take it from that to this. Turned out real nice. In a previous video, I installed these polyurethane inserts made by Prothane. These were actually intended for the 93 through 98 Jeep Grand Cherokee ZJ models with the V8 engine. But I found out that they work just as well in the WJs. Now I'll put a couple links down below in the description for the motor mount videos, as well as right up here. All right, well, let's get started. Using a hydraulic jack to support the weight of the transmission. All right, now with the transmission supported with the hydraulic jack. Okay, this is a four-wheel drive unit. Of course, you can see that here's the transfer case right here. Now what we're going to do here with the mount will be exactly the same if it's a two-wheel drive unit. Now, if you do have a skid plate right here underneath the transfer case, some models do. I did on this one, but I removed it to reduce the weight. Now, there'll be 4 bolts holding it on. Right here will be 2 of them, and then there are 2 here on the frame as well. Remove those bolts. That'll help you access this bolt right here. Might be somewhat difficult to get to, especially that one back here a little bit further. All right, so first we're going to start off by removing these 4 15mm bolts right here. And then we have the one 18mm bolt right there. We'll remove that nut. Now to access the rear ones, way back here, I found it best to use a 4-inch extension with a swivel and a 15mm socket. I like using 6-point sockets. They get a better bite on the bolt. Now these you can simply access just by using the 15mm socket and a ratchet. All right, I'm going to go ahead and raise the jack up a little bit just to get a gap between the transmission and the transmission mount here. Okay, I'm going to try using this air ratchet here, and I got a 18mm wrench on the other side, using a deep socket. Not too bad. All right. All right, no problem. As you can see, it has a really large slot right here on both sides. Gives you a lot of play forward and back. All right, now that we got the transmission mount out of there, what I was going to do is show you how I cut out the center section of this using a Sawzall. I forgot to hit the record button. Yeah, using this saw right here and kind of a wood cutting blade, I cut the center section of the insert out. Then we're going to swap over to a metal cutting blade and we're going to cut out a slot into this sleeve right here, 2 slots, and get that sleeve out of there. It's really hard to get it out with a chisel hammer, even a press. It's going to make it hard for you because you got to find something, how to catch this edge. And it's just easier to cut 2 slits into it and then pound it out of there. And just be careful not to cut too far into the cast. You don't want to weaken it. But I think I got it. Right there, when I cut through the sleeve and then the sleeve contracted, it sprung closed and pinched the blade. You definitely know when you go all the way through. Now just drive it out of there. It of course got smaller, so it makes it quite easy to drive it out. There you go. Here I'm using my 60-volt DeWalt cordless angle grinder. I'm using a 60 grit flapper disc. And what I'm doing is just grinding out the edge there and trying to give it a beveled edge. This is going to help to get that insert in there. Kind of give it a ramp. Alright, when it comes to getting this insert in there, and what's going to make the job a lot easier, you see how large of a lip that's got on there? Well, we're going to cut that down, and we're going to put a bevel edge on it. And what I do is I take a bolt like this one right here, slide it through here, a washer and a nut, torque this down a little bit. I'm going to put this in a drill press and spin it. And then using a shaping rasp, we're just going to take off this edge and give it a nice beveled edge. And between this beveled edge and the one that we put into the mount, it'll help it go in a lot easier. Okay, it's time now to press this insert into our mount. Now there's a couple ways you could do that. You could do it on a regular hydraulic press, or like I'm going to do, I'm going to use my vise right here to do it, as I've done in the past. Or you could even take a plate. Let's say you got something like this, piece of wood, drill the hole through it with all thread. Another plate on this side. And just tighten it down. And this would be your poor man press. It will work just fine. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some grease to both the mount itself and the insert. Make things go a little smoother. It's going to go right there. Okay, now it's hitting the back side here. All right, now just drive it in the rest of the way. There you go. All right, now just install the aluminum spacer. And we're ready to install. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. Now, one thing about this mount, it is a 1/2 inch narrower than the original mount. So all we got to do is make up a 1/4 inch on each side. Now you could do that a couple ways. Several washers that add up to a 1/4 inch thickness on each side, and place those in there. And then to help them get in there, because it would be somewhat difficult to get all of them in without them dropping out or whatever, I just wrap some electric tape around them like that, and that'll help you put it in there. Now, what I'm going to do is just like this. I took a 1/4 inch aluminum that I had laying around with a hole saw, a 2-inch hole saw, and the size of the hole saw isn't going to matter much. Drill that out. Now I just got to remove this lip right here. Taking a pair of shears. Comes off real easy. And then drill out the center hole to 31/64 minimum. You could use a 1/2 inch drill bit, that'd be just fine. And there, now once you got that all drilled out, that spacer's just going to go one on each side, and it'll work just great. All right, now we'll get it reinstalled. once we got those bolts tightened up, now we can get our spacer slid in here. I'll need to drop the jack just a little bit. I'm just a little high right now. Well, not that kind of high. There we go. Okay. Get the other spacer in there. Yep. Go. Just make sure that's tight. Use this here. Oh yeah, it's all right, there you have it. Not too bad of an install. And if you order a set of those Prothane Polyurethane Inserts, you end up with one extra if you're going to do the transmission. Maybe you can hook up a friend of yours. Alright, hope you enjoyed that. Always appreciate the thumbs up. And if you never subscribed to me before, please hit that subscribe button right down there and a little bell symbol right next to it. That way you get notifications of upcoming videos as I post them. And also check out the description down below, where I've got links to where you can purchase these from Amazon. All right, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.